Kundalini awakening is an individual process, so we can only talk about our own experiences and try and find some common ground. Mystical experiences started as the energy rose past the heart chakra. But nothing can compare to the experience to that of the crown opening. It is during this time that I realized this is not just some energy but consciousness, pure, intelligent process, fluid yet defined. The way energy moved around the body, the way it prepared the body for its final rising. My neck was bent so far backward I thought it will snap, my eyes rolled, my tongue rolled backwards, my spine erect and held in position for a couple of hours. But that is all beyond words. Words don't belong there. Post-crown opening, the energy intensified. I could sense work was being done on my body, but more like a hologram of my body. Energy circulated more with more and more intensity. I was heated then cooled. I was held awake for 36 hours like that and periodically wrapped in what felt like a hot, pressurized veil. Anytime I wanted to fall asleep I would be woken either by my body jerking, arms flapping or bright light penetrating my mind. The entire time my forehead was throbbing on the surface as third eye was being opened. It was a true construction site. You understand what is going on, even though it's invincible to the eyes, you know what is going on. This hologram of my body was right there in me, yet at a different place as well. Like the work being done elsewhere but on my body here and now. I could go about, eat and tune out of it, but something was telling me to be still and tune in, observe, experience. Eventually I passed out to wake up 6 hours later at a different place in the house, hot, sweating and covered by a blanket in the middle of summer. Real work begun shortly after. My neck was the first place this energy started doing work. For months it bent my neck backwards, dislocating top 3 discs one by one and sliding them back in. I was very afraid, but I kept reassuring myself by how this process was intelligent, more than I can ever be, in me as me. This was a painful time, more so that my neck was in horrible shape to begin with. I had nerve issues there. The most excruciating pain I experienced every day for few months as my neck and my shoulders were massaged. Then my upper body was bent and my neck and head manipulated many times. This all happened as soon as I relaxed. I could step out of it any time I wanted, so doing my job etc. was not a huge issue, except that I felt exhausted during this time. Exhaustion would come on suddenly and would last 15 to 60 minutes, then I would be okay. Most of the work was done during sleep. This was the gentle stuff. More like intelligent circulation of the energy. This went on for months until physical aspects of my body, main channels, were repaired to handle what was to follow, namely more energy being injected to work on the psychological aspects. This is where its true work lies. It is constantly changing, adapting. One experiences myriad of kriyas, asanas, bandhas, always slightly changing. One no longer goes in state of meditation but is placed in state of meditation. This is when unknown becomes known, unconscious becomes conscious, and we see the depths of one's soul. As K deals with various aspects of our psyche, it is reflected on the bodily reactions, hence always varied bodily movements, from flowing movements to shaking to violent jerks, convulsions to mere finger locks and yoga postures. It is necessary for these to occur to channel this change and rewire us, so everything that is happening upstairs is reflected downstairs and vice versa. It is an unbelievable time. One truly questions own sanity. It was a painful time for me, especially in the beginning. Emotionally I felt skinned alive. Like a beast was tearing me from inside. That beast was my ego resisting. But pain is our great teacher, and with time tiny hole appeared and great demolition of my ego still ensues. Stubborn things like our passions are constantly being worked on, slowly neutralized over time. It is a slow process, it has to be, otherwise no one could survive it. Imagine all that rubbish collected over time being dumped on you all at once. So it's a gradual process, because our body is a memory bank, so all this is done gradually and with purpose. Emotional pain decreases with time and one starts feeling cleaner once they can hold their K above heart chakra even for short period of time. It's a complete process of remapping. If I could give any advice, it would be to find time to be secluded in nature for 6 to 12 months and let go. City life is full of reminders and noise. This is intimate time with oneself, and one will seek to be alone anyway, so why not make arrangements if at all possible? There is no need for everyone to know about Kundalini awakening symptoms. It would be more useful for everybody to know the symptoms of a heart attack or a stroke, as those are way more common than having your Kundalini awaken. Those who do actually have a Kundalini awakening through spiritual practice will already know what to expect. Those who have a Kundalini awakening unintentionally have a good chance of finding out about the process on Quora or Google. And they'd be better off mistaking it for a disease than talking with their doctor about Kundalini, in which case they'll likely get a one-way ticket to the nearest psychiatrist. When it comes to Kundalini, there are more myths than facts out there. If you get answers that sound super amazing, then they are based on ancient legends and hearsay. Nobody that actually has had a Kundalini awakening will claim to have superpowers. They can report heightening of senses and even some healing of the body, but they are not immortal, invincible, or able to fly without an airplane ticket. Nor does Kundalini awakening equal to a spiritual awakening. Kundalini is just life force, pure energy. You get vitalized, but you could still be a criminal, if you were that before. It takes a spiritual awakening, usually a years-long, even lifetime-long process to permanently affect your mindset. Of course there can be those for which the one triggers the other.